Hello everyone, Joe Conkley in the shop. Today we're going to take a look at a very cool Gibson HG-00. The HG stands for Hawaiian guitar. It's a 00 size guitar. We're doing a little bit of a conversion. Hawaiian guitar is played on your lap. We're going to convert it into a Spanish style guitar. You play like that. So it's right in this very cool original red line case. It's got the red line that goes around the lid here. Let's pop her open. The case is in pretty good shape. The handle's a little worn but still holding up. There we go. I have already started to prep the guitar a little bit by removing the pick guard, the beautiful tiger stripe pick guard, because the first thing we're going to do is fix this crack right here in the top. There are several other cracks in the top and one in the side here that are part of the main structural things we need to do to get it going. The crack right here in the top is usually caused by the shrinkage of this beautiful pick guard, and as the pick guard shrinks, it tends to cup the top like this, and when it gets to a more extreme point, that cupping ends up pulling a crack in the wood right there. Pretty common area, so that's what we're going to do first. Alright, so this is an HG-00, the HG Hawaiian guitar. You can see that the saddle is straight across, so that there is none of the standard intonation that you would have in a Spanish style guitar where the bass side would be canted back from the treble side. So that's one of the things that I'm going to do to convert the guitar to a Spanish style guitar. And it has a very flat profile on top of the saddle, but the fingerboard itself has a nice radius on it. It's pretty much a standard Gibson 10-inch radius. They tend to be 10 to 12 inches. So that is more like a Spanish style guitar because it helps with bar chords and such. So the guitar is kind of an in-betweener, which is going to allow us to convert it to Spanish style. And all we're going to do to convert it to Spanish style is pull this saddle, plug that slot, and recut it with that compensation for the bass strings. But one of the challenges with that is you'll notice these two pearl dots here. They are covering up the heads of screws, which are used to help keep the bridge down. But if I move this saddle back towards the last bridge pin hole here, it really needs to be right on top of that pearl dot. So I do have to re-glue the bridge. It is coming up here on the back edge, so I'll pop the pearl dots, take the screws out, take the bridge off, and then we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with those pearl dots and screw holes, so I can do that. Still trying to decide whether I want to plug them with wood or leave the screws out, put the pearl in, and cut the slot right through the pearl. But that's a decision that's down the road a few days here, so I'm still contemplating that idea. Today, we're going to glue up this crack here. And so I've already got my hide glue going here. I've got a little piece of spruce, a cleat, that I have cut to go on the interior here, right inside that. It's going to fit in there about like that. It's an X-brace guitar. The X-brace runs right along there, so this edge is going to butt up against that X-brace, and this is going to fit into that corner there. So at the same time I glue the crack up, I'm going to glue that cleat in there. I'm going to put a little warm water in our crack here to coat the crack and try to get it to swell shut, and actually to get it to move a little bit too. And then I'm going to take my handy heat lamp and warm the area up also. I'd like to warm up my cleat too. So I'll set it up there. but not too warm. Warm, but not too warm. Warm enough that I can extend the working time of the glue, but not so warm that the finish is adversely affected. That's why I keep touching it, to make sure it's okay. Okay? It's okay. Let's help me close that up a little. All right. Put that aside. I got my clamps and cauls here ready to go. Let's make sure the glue is good. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Alright, so let's start with this. Pressing up from the inside to separate that crack as much as I can. And allow that glue to seep down in there and work it down in there. Now let's get my caul, or my cleat, prepped with glue and fit it in there. Take a quick look here to see where that cleat is and if I have it positioned correctly. Right. Let's put a little more glue in the crack. Plexiglass caul goes on the outside. A little block to allow the clamp to get around the brace. This clamp is sitting pretty much right on top of that caul. So they're gonna clamp this crack closed and clamp that. This is going to sit on the X brace right here. Allow me to put this other clamp in here. Put a little more pressure on this part of the crack. There we go. Glued up. As the hide glue dries, there's a lot of water in the hide glue. Again, that will help to swell the crack shut. Once that's done, I can flatten out the area where the pick guard was to try and get rid of some of that cup. To do that, I'm going to put some warm water on the outside and then take my heat gun, and I have a little attachment for my heat gun that directs the heat back up to the underside here, and that will allow the top to minimize that cup. Then I got to attack this. Actually, we were trying to get this ready for filming today, but this crack would not cooperate. It would not line up properly, so I got to figure out a different way to get it lined up and clamp it up. But that one's going to be a bit of a challenge. There's quite a bit of tension on the side there. There's another crack right here, right down the center seam. Going to be a very similar situation to that. Then I'm going to pop the pearl dots, take the screws out, take the bridge off, re-glue the bridge, decide what to do with the pearl dots. Take the saddle out, glue the bridge down, recut that saddle slot, and that's it from in the shop today. Thanks for tuning in. Share and like us on Facebook, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.